Senator Bernie Sanders gave an interview to Ezra Klein. It's at the New York Times now, right? So pretty interesting overall takes from Bernie Sanders. We can throw this up there on the screen. Ezra says that he's actually quite optimistic, which is interesting. But the part that really caught our eye was what he had to say about cancel culture. Let's put that up there on the screen. There we are. Right. On cancel culture and the power of tech platforms. He asked specifically about if liberals have become too censorious and too willing to use their cultural and corporate and political power to censor or suppress ideas and products that offend them. Bernie says, look, you have a former president in Trump who was a racist, a sexist, a xenophobe, a pathological liar, an authoritarian, somebody who doesn't believe in the rule of law. This is a bad news guy. But if you're asking me, do I feel particularly comfortable that the then president of the United States could not express his views on Twitter? I don't feel comfortable about that. And I have to say, Saagar, I was really encouraged to see this response because at least on the left right now, and not just in the liberal left, but even in a lot of leftist spaces, this is not acceptable. Like, it's actually courageous to say this. And I have to think that in part it comes from the place of Senator Sanders has seen a lot, and he's certainly seen plenty of left movements, left activists, left ideas censored. Yeah. And so he knows where this type of thing ultimately leads. It never just stays with the people and the things that you find offensive and you find uncomfortable. You set this precedent and you're setting a really ugly standard for us.
Well, I mean, I remember we've had this happen where when they banned the Donald, all of the headlines on Reddit that are about the Donald. But then the Chapo Trap House, which was actually much bigger and more active subreddit, is banned, which is much more of a leftist one. I don't support banning either of them.
Right.
And then same, I think a Jacobin video was censored or taken off of Facebook. Nobody said a word. And of course,
climate activist stuff was taken off of
That's
Facebook.
right. I forget who, was it the Sierra Club or it was one of those?
I think it was Greenpeace.
Right, one of their, and again, I don't care what they were saying. I think they have a right to say it. And in every single one of these cases is that people overreach and set standards to a point which can be absolutely used against them. And I've used this example over and over again, but what happens if AOC runs against Chuck Schumer in a Democratic primary and the Washington Post fact checks her claims on Medicare for all? Are they going to say fact check false Facebook on a link or an ad that she runs against Chuck Schumer? It's very much in the realm of possibility. You saw what happened against Bernie Sanders. The New York Times' fact checks, which we've ad nauseum discussed here, are outright false. Are they going to use those as pretext for banning or saying my opponent is using something out of context? These are all not just within the realm of possibility. They are explicitly were used by the Biden campaign against the Sanders campaign.
Yep.
What's stopping the tech companies from putting their fact checks on top of those things? Nothing is stopping them with these standards.
That's exactly right. And let's say that Bernie had ended up as president and he tweeted something that, that was a threat to their corporate power and an actual threat to the monopoly that these tech oligarchs actually have. You think that they would just allow that to stand? No, now they've got the precedent in place. They can do whatever they want there. And he certainly had run-in with tech executives before. You remember the whole Jeff Bezos Washington Post thing where he felt that he'd been, rightly so, that he'd been unfairly treated by the Washington Post. And when they asked him about it, he was like, yeah, well, look at who runs it, right? It's not an accident that they always have the knives out for me when you've got, a billionaire who owns this newspaper now and has his own agenda. So he sees the longer term view. Yeah. Look, I have to admit, it's actually nice not having Trump on Twitter. Like I have to say, like for all of our sanity, it actually is nice. But you have to always come back to the principle of the thing and where it ultimately leads us. And that's the part that's very troubling.
Exactly.
And tomorrow on Rising, Roger Fisk and Emily Tuschinski are here for Team Rising. Reverend Dr. William Barber is going to talk about the path to a $15 minimum wage.
It's going to be really interesting. Plus, President of Retail Wholesale Department Store Union, Stuart Applebaum, he's going to discuss the latest on Amazon workers in Alabama fighting there to unionize. Remember to hit that subscribe button. Don't miss any of our videos. Don't forget to like and share as well. And we will see you all tomorrow.
Have a good one, guys.